in the news.
Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has directed that the curfew imposed on the three warring communities of Ilobu, Ifon and Erionsho be relaxed to 12 hours. The governor linked this decision to the West African Senior School Certificate examination starting on April the 24th, saying the situation would not be allowed to impair students' education. The communities had been involved in violent clashes that claimed many lives and left several buildings razed by hoodlums. He also said the adjustment in the time frame of the curfew would allow students sitting the Senior Secondary School Certificate examination and the Unified Tertiary Matriculation examinations to be able to do so without any form of hindrance. A total of 11 governors of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, have approached the Supreme Court challenging what powers President Bola Tinubu has to suspend a democratically elected structure of a state. The suit filed by the governors also challenges the declaration of a state of emergency rule in Rivers State. While the media previously reported that the suit had been filed before the Supreme Court, the governor's suit was actually only filed before the Apex Court recently. You'd recall that President Tinubu had on March the 18th declared a state of emergency in Rivers State and suspended Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the state deputy governor, and all elected members of the Rivers State House of Assembly for an initial period of 6 months. The Plateau State Governor, Caleb Mutfwang, says the assault on the state where over 50 people have been killed and thousands rendered homeless is sponsored and genocidal. Attackers struck in several communities in the Bokos local government area of the north-central state, displacing many and leaving a trail of destruction behind. Governor Mutfwang has linked the attacks and killings to some unnamed terrorist groups targeted at wiping off communities in the state. Migrants who obtain temporary permission to live in the United States through the CBP One app under former President Joe Biden have received orders to self-deport immediately. Reports say formal termination notices had been issued to certain illegal aliens, but did not provide details on how they were selected. You'd recall that in January 2023, the CBP One app allowed migrants to schedule appointments at certain southwestern U.S. ports of entry, and was a central part of the Biden administration's humanitarian parole strategy. We hear the latest orders could affect more than 930,000 migrants. In business, the Nigerian Communications Commission has proposed a 12-month grace period for subscribers to reclaim unused airtime on deactivated lines. The Executive Vice Chairman and CEO of the NCC, Dr. Aminu Maida, who was represented by the Executive Commissioner for Stakeholder Management, Rimini Makama, said the initiative is part of efforts to balance consumers' rights with operational realities in the telecommunications sector. Maida said the telecommunications industry has played a significant role in driving economic growth, financial inclusion, and digital transformation in Nigeria. He explained that the proposed framework seeks to address the issue of unclaimed recharges when accounts become inactive. And in sports, Sevilla striker Akon Adams has missed the rest of the 2024-2025 campaign after suffering a serious thigh injury during the recent 2-1 defeat to Atletico Madrid on Sunday. The 25-year-old Nigerian forward, who joined from Montpellier in January for €5.5 million, has been sidelined with a rectus femoris muscle injury in his right thigh. Sevilla confirmed he faces a minimum of 2 months out, effectively ending his season. Adams had been brought in during the winter transfer window to help address Sevilla's attacking struggles as the team battled relegation. However, his time in Spain has been plagued by setbacks. And we hear AC Milan are preparing for a major overhaul ahead of the 2025-2026 season, and one of the prominent names expected to depart is Samuel Chukwueze. The Nigerian winger, who arrived from Villarreal less than 2 seasons ago, has struggled to establish himself in Milan due to injuries and limited playing time. During his time in Spain with the Yellow Submarine, the Nigerian was in impeccable form, helping the club to Europa League victory. But since his move to Italy, the Nigerian has been unable to replicate the same form, and as a result, Milan are reportedly willing to listen to offers that would allow the player to seek a fresh start elsewhere. Chukwueze has made 32 appearances in all competitions for Milan this season from a possible 46 matches. He has started only 11 of those games and accumulated a total of 1,214 minutes on the pitch, missing 2,926 minutes of competitive action. And finally, entertainment. A tragedy it was today as rescuers raced to find survivors after the roof of a Dominican Republic nightclub collapsed during a concert by popular singer Robbie Perey. Renowned Dominican singer Perey, who was on stage at the popular Jet Set nightclub when the roof collapsed shortly after midnight, was one of those killed. Also among the dead was 51-year-old retired Major League Baseball pitcher Octavio Dotel, who won a World Series in 2011 with the St. Louis Cardinals. Reports say he was, however, rescued alive but died of his injuries while being taken to hospital.
That's the news.